Today we will see the next form of the morphology of reversible cell injury, that is mucoid change. Mucoid change means discharge of the mucus or secretion of the mucus by the mucous gland. Which contains mucin, which is a glycoprotein. Mucus secreted by the mucoid glands, which contains mucin. The content of the main content of the mucus secretion is mucin. The mucin, which is a glycoprotein, and is a chief constituent of this mucus secretion. So this mucin, it is secreted by the two cells, epithelial cells and connective tissue. Connective tissues. So first we will see the mucin, which secreted by the epithelial cells. So there are some examples of the epithelial mucin. So some examples of functional excess of epithelial mucin are firstly the catarrhal inflammation, for example respiratory inflammation or alimentary tract inflammation or uterine inflammation. So catarrhal inflammation of the mucous membrane. Second is obstruction of the duct leading to mucosis. Mucocele, that is collection of the mucus, sac containing mucus. So second is the obstruction of duct leading to mucocele in oral cavity and gallbladder. Then cystic fibrosis of pancreas, and the fourth is mucus secreting tumors. There are some tumors which secretes the mucus in excess amount, that is ovarian tumor or tumors of stomach or tumors of large bowel. So these are the examples of the epithelial cell mucin. Second, the mucin secreted by the connective tissue, that is connective tissue mucin. So few examples of the disturbance in the connective tissue mucin is the mucoid or myxoid degeneration in some tumors like myxomas or neurofibromas. Then dissecting aneurysm of aorta. The examples of this is Marfan syndrome, that is Marfan syndrome, which is a inherited disorder, that is genetic disorder. In which there is excessive secretion of mucin by the connective tissue, that is Marfan syndrome. Then myxomatous change in dermis in myxodema, and myxoid change in synovium in ganglion on the breast. So these are some examples of the mucin secreted by the connective tissue, that is connective tissue mucin. So this is about the mucoid change. Now the next change or next form of this reversible cell injury is fatty change. Is the most important, can be asked in exam for 5 marks. Fatty change synonyms are fatty change or fatty steatosis, in alcoholic cirrhosis. In pathological changes we will see the 3 changes. So the patient does not go through directly alcoholic cirrhosis. Before that, patient goes through 2 stages. The first stage is fatty steatosis, the second is alcoholic hepatitis, and the third is the alcoholic cirrhosis. So the fatty steatosis is the first stage of the alcoholic cirrhosis. So the synonym is fatty change. The synonym is fatty steatosis or this fatty metamorphosis. Fatty metamorphosis, which is the intracellular accumulation of the neutral fat. Fatty change or fatty steatosis means intracellular accumulation of the neutral fat within the parenchymal cells. Now here there are some examples in liver fatty changes. There will be accumulation of the fat, neutral fat in the liver cells. Okay, that is hepatic cells. So fatty change means or fatty steatosis or is the intracellular accumulation of the neutral fat in the within the parenchymal cells. So it is especially common in liver, but it may occur in other non-fatty tissues also. The non-fatty tissues like heart, skeletal muscle, and in kidney. So these fatty changes may occur in the heart also, in the skeletal muscles also, or in the kidneys also. But most common site of this fatty change is the liver, which is called as fatty liver. Okay. So and also seen in other many organs, but these are the most common organs. Among this, liver is the most common organ of this fatty changes, which is called as fatty liver. So we will see fatty liver. So liver is the commonest site for accumulation of the fat because it plays a central role in the fat metabolism. So one of the most common function of this liver is fat metabolism. So depending upon the cause and amount of accumulation, fatty change may be mild or reversible or severe or irreversible, causing cell death. So fatty liver means accumulation of the fat in the liver cells. And depending upon the cause and the amount. So there are various causes of the fatty liver. So depending upon the cause and the amount of fat accumulation, there are various. This fatty liver, it may be mild or it may be severe. It may be reversible or it may be irreversible. So there are various causes of the fatty livers. So etiology. So etiology in fatty liver, the commonest cause of fatty liver included, the most important is excessive alcohol consumption. So which is the most important cause of the fatty liver, excessive consumption of the alcohol is the most common. Second is starvation, then malnutrition, obesity, diabetes mellitus, chronic illness like tuberculosis, late pregnancy, hypoxia. In hypoxia due to anemia or hypoxia due to cardiac failure. Then hepatotoxins, due to some hepatotoxic drugs like carbon tetrachloride or chloroform or ether or other poisonous substances, there may be chances of the fatty liver. Then certain drugs like steroids or tetracyclines, these may be the cause of this fatty liver. And last is Ray's syndrome. Now this Ray's syndrome, it occurs due to vital infection causes swelling of brain. So this is the Ray's syndrome, which is one of the cause of fatty liver, which occurs after the viral infection, viral infections, and which mainly causes swelling of brain. So these are various causes of the fatty liver. So these are 8 to 10 causes of fatty liver. Now we will see pathogenesis of the fatty liver. Introduction and etiology of fatty liver. Now pathogenesis. Now pathogenesis of fatty liver, it depends upon the stage at which the individual etiologic agent acts in the normal fat transport and metabolism. Then now there should be entry of the lipids as a free acids. So lipids as free acids, they enter into the liver cells. Lipids as free acids enters into the liver cells. So there are two sources of the entry of lipids as a free acids. So there are two sources. Now the first source is diet and the second is adipose tissue. Okay. Now what happens normally? So these are the two sources. First is diet and second is the enter the lipids. diet and adipose tissue. Now in normal condition what happened, small part of this fatty acids is synthesized from acetate in the liver cells. Free acid, that is fatty acids. Now small part of this fatty acids, small part of this fatty acids is synthesized from the acetate in the liver cells. Acetate in the liver cells. Most of the fatty acids is esterified in the triglycerides by the action of alpha glucophosphatase. Glycerophosphatase. First काय बघितलं आपण, entry of the fatty acids into the liver cells by the two sources, diet and the adipose tissue. Okay. Now after entry there are two main basic mechanism. First, small part of the fatty acids, it is synthesized from the acetate in the liver cells. Most of the fatty acids is esterified. Fatty acids esterified into triglycerides. Okay. Now for this action required alpha glycerophosphate. By the action of alpha glycerophosphate, this fatty acids esterified into triglycerides. Okay. Then small part of the fatty acid change into cholesterol, phospholipids and ketone bodies. Now among this, then small part of the fatty acids it transferred into three: cholesterol, then phospholipids and ketone bodies. Most of the part it converted into most of the fat is esterified into triglycerides, and small part is converted into change into three, that is cholesterol, phospholipid and ketone bodies. Now intracellular triglycerides, it requires lipid acceptor proteins. Now intracellular triglyceride, that is the triglycerides within the cells. Intracellular triglycerides, they require the lipid acceptor proteins. Lipid acceptor proteins to form lipoprotein. Intracellular triglycerides, they require lipid acceptor proteins in a sufficient amount to turn into lipoproteins, and these lipoproteins they excreted from the liver. This is a normal pathogenesis. Normally this happens. Okay. Now in fatty liver, what happens? Intracellular accumulation of triglycerides occurs due to defect in one or more of the steps. Okay. So in fatty liver, this is a normal mechanism of the entry of fatty acid, entry of lipids as a fatty acids into the liver cells. But in fatty liver, what happens? These triglycerides, they accumulate within the cell in excess amount due to defects in certain levels. Okay. Now these levels are as follows. Now first is increase entry of free fatty acids into liver. The entries increase झाली तर, okay. If there is increase entry of the free fatty acids into the liver cells. Second, increase synthesis of fatty acids by the liver. So the synthesis of fatty acids, it is done by the liver. So if it is increased, so increase the synthesis of fatty acids is increased by the liver. Third is decrease conversion ketone bodies, then phospholipids and cholesterol. So if it is decreased, if this change or if this conversion is decreased, okay. So fourth is increase alpha glycerophosphate causing increased esterification of fatty acids to triglycerides. Now most of the part of fatty acids is changed into triglyceride with the help of alpha glycerophosphate. If there is increased synthesis of this alpha glycerophosphate, there is more and more esterification of this fatty acids into the triglycerides and more amount of the triglycerides. Then fifth one is decreased synthesis of lipid acceptor proteins. Now there may be triglycerides, they require the lipid acceptor proteins to convert the lipid into lipoproteins which are excreted from the liver. But if the lipid acceptor proteins are decreased, so there will not be conversion of lipids into triglycerides into lipoproteins, and there will not be excretion of the lipoproteins from the liver. And last is block in the excretion of lipoprotein from due to some condition. If there is formation of lipoprotein, but if there is block due to some condition for the excretion of the lipoproteins from the liver into the plasma. So these are some steps where there is a where there is defect, and due to this there is increase the intracellular triglycerides which may result into fatty liver. So this is the normal pathogenesis, okay, normal and abnormal pathogenesis causing fatty liver. In most cases of fatty liver, one of the above mechanism is operating, means सगळा mechanism नहीं हो, any one mechanism is operating to cause the fatty liver. In most of the cases, normal cases, or in most of the normal cases of fatty liver, one of the mechanism is operating. म्हणजे जे आपण 5 ते 6 मेकॅनिझम घेतल्या त्याच्यापैकी एखादी मेकॅनिझम इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू कॉज द फॅटी लिव्हर. बट in case of liver cell injury by chronic alcoholism, many factors are implicated, which includes so in case of fatty liver which caused due to excessive intake of alcohol, so there may be many factors which may be implicated to cause the fatty liver. The causes includes increased lipolysis, increased free fatty acid synthesis, decreased triglyceride synthesis, utilization of triglyceride is decreased fatty acid oxidation into ketone bodies, and blocking the lipoprotein excretion. So many of the factors may play role to cause the fatty liver in case of liver injury due to chronic alcoholism. So these are the factors. Now last part is pathological changes. Now pathological changes are similar to those we see in the alcoholic liver disease in fatty steatosis. Fatty steatosis and alcoholic liver disease. So pathological changes grossly. Now fatty liver means fat deposition झालं तर काय होणार, swelling of the liver. So liver size will be enlarged. So pathological changes. Now grossly, the size of the liver obviously enlarged with a tense glistening capsule, rounded margins, cut surface may bulges slightly and is pale yellow to yellow grey in color. Cut section bulges with yellow or yellow to grey in color, greasy to touch, maybe greasy to touch. Microscopically, there are numerous lipid vacuoles. Lipid vacuoles, and vacuoles means a sac containing fluid, sac containing lipids. So there may not be lipid, only lipid vacuoles. In the cytoplasm of hepatocytes, the vacuoles, they are initially small and they are present in the nucleus. That is called as microvesicular. Microvesicular and macrovesicular. आठवत असेल तुम्हाला microvesicular and macrovesicular. So microvesicular when the lipid vacuoles are small in size. Okay, they are called as microvesicular within the present around the nucleus. But with the progression of the process, the vacuoles become larger. pushing the nucleus to periphery of the cells. They are called as macrovesicular. So microvesicular when they are small lipid vacuoles, and macro when they are large in size. At times hepatocyte laden with large lipid vacuoles may rupture, and lipid vacuoles form the fatty cyst. Sometimes these lipid vacuoles they become so large that they may get ruptured to form the fatty cyst. Okay. Infrequently, lipogranulomas may appear consisting of collection of lymphocytes, macrophages, and some multinucleate giant cells. Inflammatory condition, lipogranulomas, that is granulomas, which we see in the inflammatory condition. And fat in the tissue can be demonstrated by frozen section. This fat in the tissues can be demonstrated by the frozen section. Now, this is the these are the pathological changes of the fatty liver, and this is the total topic of 5 marks, that is fatty liver. Introduction, then etiology, pathogenesis, normal and abnormal, its causes, its pathogenesis, its multiple factors, and pathological changes, gross, section, and microscopic changes. So this is all about fatty liver. Thank you very much.